Hey, this is Teppista, Atlanta here, and I am cooking some Maccheroncini alla Norma today. And the first thing we have to do is get pasta water ready. Pasta water is essential for cooking pasta in a higher level than most people anticipate or think about. Most of your seasoning is going to come from the pasta water, so you have to get some salt in there pretty aggressively. It's going to come to a boil soon now that I've added the salt. First thing, I have a hot pan here. I get a little olive oil in there. So a good bit, because the eggplant's going to soak it right up. Now wait for it to get a little warmer. Let the oil get warm. And now I'm going to add the eggplant. I want to get some color on the eggplant. The color will help add to the flavor, the roasting flavor of the pasta dish. And you also want to make sure that you thoroughly cook eggplant, otherwise it has a very bitter flavor that's not pleasant at all. I like this dish a lot. I really enjoy eggplant and tomato together, and I kind of came across this dish in a book called The Geometry of Pasta, and there'll be a link in the description on where to buy this book at Amazon.com. It's a really, really good read. But I'm kind of doing my version of this dish. Instead of using ricotta salata, I'm going to use fresh ricotta from Murray's. Murray's is like one of the most famous cheese purveyors in the United States, and you can get the ricotta in pretty much any Kroger grocery store. I made the Maccheroncini myself with a Taka CDC pasta extruder. It's like a little home extruder they made in the late 80s and the 90s. They no longer make, but it's a great machine for making pasta at home. My next video, I'll show you how to use this pasta extruder to make some good home pasta. I'm starting to get some color, so I'm just going to let this sit and get color. I have some San Marzano tomato sauce. I have a little bit of sliced up cherry tomato for a little texture. I have my aromatics. Instead of using dried chili flakes, I'm using serrano chilies. And instead of using oregano, I'm using Thai basil that I got at Buford Highway Farmers Market. Buford Highway Farmers Market has amazing produce from almost all of it local, but it's like stuff that you won't think of being able to find in Atlanta, whether it's parsley root or Korean mustard. There's all kinds of amazing produce. Basically the next step, now that I got some color to this eggplant, I think I'm going to get a little more color, a little more flavor. I'm ready for my pasta. I'm putting that in the water. The cool thing about this shape is it doesn't really stick together, and I don't have to worry about like stirring it while it cooks. So it's a really fun shape and easy shape to work with if you're just new to cooking pasta at home. It doesn't require a lot of work out of the cook. Okay, I got a sufficient amount of color. So now a little tomato sauce. Actually, before the tomato sauce, we're going to throw in our aromatics. They cook pretty quick, and you definitely don't want to let garlic get color. It's one of those cardinal sins of cooking, is don't burn garlic. This isn't going to need any salt because I have all my salt in this pasta water, and part of this pasta water is going to end up in here, and we're going to cook the whole thing together. And if it needs any salt at the end, I'll just add a little at the end. If I add salt now, I'll end up with a pasta dish that's way too salty. So I'm relaxing, letting this dish do its thing. I'm trying to reduce the tomato so that it will coat the pasta. I'm going to add this guy. This will give me a little bit of texture. I like a little bit of cherry tomato cut up in a tomato sauce. Add a little interest. I'm trying to get it nice and reduced. I'm not going to add any butter to this sauce at all because the idea, the way I'm wanting to do this dish is if I have to cook for a vegan at a pop-up, I have a vegan dish minus the cheese. Everything in here right now, there's no meat product, nothing. My pasta, I use just semolina granduro and water. I don't have any egg product in my pasta at all that I extrude. This is coming together really fast. This is cooking really fast because it's a fresh made pasta. It's not like the pasta you bought at a store that's all dried and everything. And my trick to, I'll show you my trick to cooking pasta at home in a second. Basically, I will leave this burner on even after I remove the pasta from it. And then I will use that momentum to finish the dish in this pan. Okay, I have this nice and reduced. I'm going to rest this here. I'm waiting on my pasta to finish cooking. I'll turn this burner off. It's probably going to take about another minute for this pasta to cook. I go by eyeball because I've cooked this pasta a lot. Another trick you could do is you could pull an individual piece of pasta out of the water and rip it in half, and you'll see a ring on the inside that tells you that the pasta is not cooked because you can see that raw ring on the inside of pasta. I mean, that's my other favorite thing. You could, and other favorite way to do it. But this I just do by eyesight, and I'm going to pull to the corner of the burner so I get a better view of the pasta because it's come up to a hard boil. And guess what? We're done. We have cooked pasta, and now a little bit of that pasta water in there. This just takes seconds. We'll be plating this up in a second. I want everything to like coat the pasta. So that there's like no liquid around it. Now, a lot of people like move the pot a lot, thinking they're doing something. They're not doing anything. They're removing it from the heat, and it's not cooking. So don't move a pot too much. You're not doing anything. Okay. Now I'm where I want to be. Turning my burner off. And coming to plate. A little bit of cheese. Okay, and my girlfriend's mother brought home some olive oil from Italy, obviously before the coronavirus outbreak. And we're going to use this for a finishing oil. It's got a really, really, really floral flavor to it. It's a beautiful olive oil. And then a little more basil to garnish with. And I'm using the little basil flowers that were on the Thai basil. They're very, very fragrant. Thank you.